Hey guys, Colorado Camperman Brian here. I want to do a video today here on the top 15 must-have items while dispersed camping. So we're doing some dispersed camping. This is day 3 of our little camping trip here. We're up on some national forest land up near Wilkerson Pass in Colorado. So we're at about 9,000 feet elevation. I'll show you guys our camp area here. It's really great. Like I said, we're just in some national forest land, which is free. You can camp here for up to 14 days. And well, there's a truck. But anyways, it's gorgeous. I mean, our closest neighbors are quarter mile to half mile away. Got a real nice flat spot. Somebody already built a real nice fire ring and stuff. But it's just been a great few days here. And like I said, just want to do a video on the top 15 must-haves while you're out doing your dispersed camping. So we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so these items are in no particular order. I'm just kind of listing them off. So first thing that I definitely highly recommend is either a chainsaw or like a big bow saw, and then a hatchet / axe. Why you'd want to have these things? Well, one, if you're planning on building a fire, chainsaw is amazing. I mean, I can cut down an old dead tree and have, you know, 2-3 days worth of firewood in a matter of 30 minutes. But you also want to have these things too if you're going on a road and say like there's a tree that fell in front of you, or maybe there's some low-hanging branches or something like that. You can use your chainsaw or your big bow saw to cut that off, or even your axe or your hatchet. And then obviously, if you're going to bring a chainsaw, just make sure you bring gas like I have in the corner there. So the next thing that you want to have is plenty of either stackable blocks or just some type of wood blocks. The first time we ever went dispersed camping with our hybrid camper, we were so uneven, we actually didn't have enough blocks. And luckily we had went with a big group of people and they had some extra just wood blocks. You know, these can kind of get expensive if you buy a lot of them. So what I did here was I just got some 2x6s, and what I did was I screwed them together on both sides, and then in between here I gorilla glued it. And I don't know, I probably have maybe half a dozen of these guys, plus these, and then pretty much in those 2 tubs up there are almost all blocks. You can never have enough blocks when you're out doing dispersed camping, because you may find a really great spot but it may not be level, and you're gonna need all these blocks to level yourself out. Next thing you want to make sure you have is extra propane. So we have dual propane tanks, so it's not too much of a big issue with us, but when we used to have our little hybrid camper, we just had one little single 20-pound tank. So we would always bring an extra one for us, because obviously you don't want to run out of propane, especially if you use it for your fridge and your water heater, and then obviously to cook and whatnot too. So definitely recommend bringing an extra propane tank, or just making sure if you have dual propane tanks, always have one full. You also want to make sure that you have plenty of water. So we fill our tank every time before we go out. We have a 45-gallon fresh tank, and then here's 6 additional gallons of drinking water here. You know, for 3 nights for 2 people, that's plenty of water. If you're going out longer, I would definitely be bringing more. I'd be bringing some extra jerry cans or jugs like this. Another thing you could do too is if you're camping near a stream, you could also bring a water purifier, and then you could pump your own water if you start to run low. While you're out in the woods camping, it's always fun to have games and whatnot too. So, you know, here's a couple things we always bring: a football, beanbag toss. We have a game called Can Jam, obviously playing cards, you know, just stuff like that, just to entertain yourself. In my opinion, there's nothing more fun than camping and playing a bunch of games either outside or if it's raining on the inside. Another thing that you gotta have while you're dispersed camping is an alternate source of energy. So if you were to come out here camping and solely rely on just your batteries and not have any way of charging them, you might be in for a surprise. You run out of your battery power a lot quicker than you think. Between your water pump and all your lights at night, you know, if you're charging cell phones or whatnot from your 12 volt plug, it's gonna run out pretty darn quick. So you gotta either have a solar panel set up or a generator or some other type of alternate source of energy. I'll put some links into some additional videos I've made. I'm a huge fan of solar. This is a little 13 watt Harbor Freight solar panel briefcase, and this guy does the job of just maintaining the charge in our batteries. So we can pretty much come out here, and especially if it's a nice sunny day like today, we can use our lights as much as we want. You know, we can charge our devices, shoot, we can even listen to the radio, we can watch a movie if we want, all that stuff. And our battery, our single deep cycle battery, will maintain a charge, and we pretty much never have to worry about running out of energy. So definitely make sure you have an alternate source of energy, especially if you're going out for a longer period of time. Okay, so you also want to have either a hand pump or a 12 volt air compressor, a jack, and a spare tire for both your tow vehicle and then your camper. One time when we were dispersed camping, we had excessive wear on our camper tire that we noticed when we were getting ready to leave. For some reason it just really worn on the trip over there, and versus risking driving back on the 150-mile trip, we took the jack from our tow vehicle, jacked up our camper, switched out the camper spare tire, and then we were able to safely travel home. You know, you want to have a pump, because if you notice you have a low tire, you can go ahead and pump it up. And again, just for safe travels and good measure, it's something really good to have. You also want to make sure that you have a pair of jumper cables. Let's say you go out to your truck to get something, you turn the dome light on, you forget to turn it off. In the morning time, you go back to start up your truck and it's dead. Well, if somebody's there with you, hopefully they can jump you. If not, I've heard that you actually can hook these guys up to your camper battery, and then you could jump your truck based on that. I haven't tried that before. I don't see why it wouldn't work, but anyhow, that's also where the solar panel will come in great use. I have alligator clips for the solar panel, so if that happened to us, we could actually just hook our solar panel up to our truck and do that. But jumper cables are definitely something that you got to have on you, just in case anything like that did happen. Alright, so some of you guys might not like this one, but one thing that I really feel is important and necessary to bring with you is some form of self-defense. So I personally bring a 9mm and 12 gauge shotgun with me whenever I go dispersed camping. You know, we have bears out here, there's mountain lions, coyotes, bobcats, you know, all these potential threats, and if they were to attack any one of our people in our group or any of our animals, we'd have the means to be able to defend ourselves. If you want something a little bit less lethal, you could go with like bear spray or wrist rocket or something like that. And then if you are going to be shooting for sport while you're up in the mountains, just please make sure that you pick up all your shell casings. Alright, so these guys got quite a bit of use over the last couple of days here, because it's rained every day but today. So these are rain pants and then a jacket. So you should have either those and or a poncho. And you know, if you're going to be setting up your camper or taking it down in the rain or doing anything outside, and if it's raining out, you're going to be very miserable if you don't have any of this stuff. So definitely got to have it. So this one is more of a do as I say, not as I do type thing, but if you can imagine me having a shovel on my hand right now, that's one thing you gotta bring camping. I was doing some yard work at my house and I freaking forgot to pack it, so really I need to just buy one for the camper and put it in here. But you know, you can use a shovel for digging out your fire pit, or if you need to dig a fire pit, or if you need to put out your fire, or say the road's really rutted out and need to fill in some of the ruts with dirt in order to get to a certain area or whatever. A shovel is definitely something that you want to have while you're out dispersed camping. So you also need to make sure that you have a good set of tools on you. So I just bring my tool bag, which has pretty much everything that I would ever need to either fix my truck or my camper if something were to break, or if I'm just getting ready to do some routine maintenance while I'm out here. So, you know, that's going to be stuff like my fix wrench set, to drill bits, to my actual, you know, my drill, duct tape. We're going to have a multi-screwdriver set in here, some other just regular fixed screwdrivers, utility knife, scissors, pliers, wire cutters, hammer, tape measurer, socket set, crescent wrench, tin snips. I mean, I have so much stuff in here that you want to have. Again, anything that if your truck were to break or your camper were to break, you want to have the means to be able to fix that. If you don't know for sure what to put in your bag, I would just recommend going to like Harbor Freight, and you can pick up like a 105 piece tool set with a little drawer and everything for like 35-40 bucks. Just buy that, you can put it in your camper, and it can just be your designated camper tool set. But tools are something you definitely have to have. Generally, when you're going out dispersed camping, you're probably going to be out on some dirt roads. It could get a little gnarly, and you know, you might end up getting your truck or your camper stuck. Tow rope is something that you want to have just in case that were to happen. So you'd be able to pull your camper out, or somebody else could pull your truck out if you get stuck. So like I mentioned earlier, it rained pretty good. And one thing that is very nice to have is an awning. If you don't have an awning, just make sure you have like one of those pop-up tents. And then you want to have, you know, stakes to stake stuff down, rope, and then even a tarp. You can see I have a tarp back there. It's covering some firewood from all the rain. But something to keep you covered if you're outside in the rain. So I decided to throw in a few extra items, and some of these are just camping essentials. WD-40 is great to have with your camper. Also matches and lighters, and I would have both of them. Don't just rely on lighters working, because if you run out of fuel, you're kind of screwed. And same thing with matches. If you run out of matches, you're screwed. So have a bunch of them. And then you gotta know where you're going, so a map, or this is a pretty cool thing to get. It's Fun Treks, color out back roads and four-wheel drive trails. And it's got dispersed camping and some really cool trails that you can take with really great directions. Binoculars are always fun to have as well. And then we got your multi-tool slash pocket knife. You want to bring flashlights with plenty of batteries. My rule of thumb is I bring 2 flashlights per person going. And then you want to have plenty of fuses, electrical tape, and a multimeter. If something were to go out in your camper, you know, you're good there. You want to have off for all those pesky bugs. And then sunscreen at 9,000 feet elevation here. I think I got a little burnt just making that video, so. And then gotta have plenty of warm weather, or cold weather gear rather. Last night it was upper 30s, and it's August 2nd. But again, at 9,000 feet elevation, sometimes you get your winter conditions even in the summertime. So that rounds out the top 15 plus a few extra must-have items while you're out dispersed camping. So again, if you guys have any items that you really like or enjoy having, or you think is a must-have while you're dispersed camping, I'd love to hear about them. Just put them in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you guys for checking out the video. Have fun camping, and we'll see you later.